Hello, dear friends. We are live. It has been too long. Life has just been one thing after another. But I am finally here to do an art stream. I'm so excited. I I don't really have lots of ideas today. Um, but I do need to practice landscapes. And I thought, who better to learn landscapes and painting from than the OG himself, Bob Ross. Um, so yeah, I thought it would just be kind of fun and chill if we all just vibed and followed a Bob Ross tutorial. So, and if you guys like it, we might do this more than once. Um, but yeah, I've got my canvas set up to a specification that looks kind of like the canvas that he's going to use in the video. And then I've got my mixing palette rather than my color wheel over here, so we'll be using that. Yeah, so should be good. I'm excited. I haven't fully decided what brush I'm going to use yet. I'm leaning towards, I do have, where's my oil paint brush? Oh my goodness, there it is. I do have this like textured oil paint brush, and I think that will be good. So I think that's what we're gonna probably use the most. If I need to go into like my thick oil paint brush, that's what that looks like. We'll see. I'll try to kind of match the vibe of what he's doing. I might break out the gouache brushes if he's using the paint like in a more thin watercolor sort of way. But yeah, it should be good. I'm very nervous because the tutorial is only like 25 minutes long. So this will probably wind up being a shorter stream, and I probably will have to panic and pause a lot because gosh, he's just so quick when he paints. So I haven't watched the full video all the way through. I did just kind of pick one at random that looked nice. And then as far as the paints go, you know, he always lists the paints at the bottom of the screen. So since I'm using a digital program and I'm not using actual paints, what I've done is look up those paints on Google and then just do my best to kind of match the vibe and the tone and the shade of what colors he's working with. And then we'll do some mixing. If I have to, you know, pause and go into my color wheel and adjust, we can. But I'm going to do my best to just like do color mixing the way that he's doing it. So yeah, this will probably be a lot of me panicking. But if you want to follow along, you can either use, you know, your drawing program, or you can use paints if you brought them. The colors that I'm using, he's got, you know, a white, he's got a black. I think he calls it midnight black. So I've just pulled, you know, a generic white and black from my program. He's using phthalo blue, which is kind of just a really nice mid-tone blue. A sienna color, so I've just pulled like a really red brown tone. And then he also has a cooler, I think he calls it Dick Van Dyke brown? Something like that. Anyway, that's more of a cooler brown. There's a red, which is very bright and closer to the purple side of the spectrum on the color wheel than it is to the yellow side of the spectrum of the color wheel. We've got an ochre, we've got a really bright yellow, and then we have another like deeper red that's more, it's still kind of cool tone, but it's like kind of I picked it from like the exact middle of the red tones in the color wheel. And then we've got this like, I think it was called sap green, which is like a yellowy, I'm not fully happy with that color pick on that one. I might like pull it closer to yellow when we work, we'll see. So anyway, yeah. So if you want to get out your paints, you can join along. I have cats out and about. They may jump up on my desk. We'll see. I tried to play with the baby before we streamed, so she'd settle down, but that apparently hasn't worked. So yeah, with that out of the way, I'm gonna swap over to the Bob Ross video. And we can get started. Let's see, where is he? There he is. Hi, Bob.
Welcome. I'm certainly glad you could join me today. I thought today we'd just do a fantastic little painting that I think you'll really enjoy.
And hopefully the volume is okay for you guys.
All the colors across the screen that you need to do this project with me.
So yeah, titanium white, that's this guy right here.
I've already covered the canvas with a nice thin even coat of the liquid white. It's
phthalo blue is this one right here.
So let's do the same thing. Today I'm going to start with a small amount of the phthalo blue.
Okay.
On the 2-inch brush and just tap it. See, really tap it firmly. We'll pick up a little bit of the midnight black and add it in there too. So we have phthalo blue and midnight black. Okay, let's go right up here. Now then, using the little crisscross strokes, little X's.
Oh my gosh, Bob, slow down.
Little X's, just
Bob,
like
please.
So. Just begin dropping in a happy little sky. And do these little X's, see?
Well, that's too dark
Little X's.
for what he's using. Hang on.
There.
I said we'd have to pause. Let me mix until I have something that I'm happier with. Oh my gosh, my kitten has decided to sing me the song over people. Okay. I feel like this needs to be more saturated. I'm gonna add some of that. And then I'm going to go over to the color wheel. I was going to try to mix most of these, but I think it just needs to be a bit more saturated for what it looks like he's using. And I think I need to pull it over to the yellow side of the blue. Okay, we'll go with that. And I'm going to bring it just a titch darker and a titch more saturated. Okay. And we said X's.
That's just the way the teacher used to grade my paper in school. She just run across it.
Oh no. Okay.
Just think about that when you're doing it. Little X's.
Little X's.
Okay. And as it works down, it picks up the liquid white and automatically it gets lighter as it goes down.
Blend.
Lighter and lighter. There we go. And today I'm just going to throw in a quick little background because I want to spend some time playing in the foreground. Just want to have some fun.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's what I wanted to do today. Just have some fun.
And that quick, we have a happy little background.
Oh my God. How does he...
Let's have just a little rolling hill back here. We just use the same old dirty brush. It's all right. Go right into the phthalo blue. Reach over here and pick up a little bit of alizarin crimson and a little white. So we have blue, alizarin crimson, and white. And we're making sort of a lavender color. About like so. That's good. Let's go right up here. All right. Now, maybe there's
I think I've gotten too far down my paper.
There he is. You can just use this brush. You can use a fan brush or a 1-inch brush. It doesn't matter. All we're doing is applying a little color here. This is just a little hill.
I'm still on my sky, Bob.
And let it get lighter.
Esper Lady, hi! Okay, I'm pausing him because I'm panicking again. Okay, so he grabbed the blue, which I'm going to actually color pick and add this blue that we have, I think, onto our palette here. That's a much brighter blue, and we'll just mix that together. There we go. So he grabbed, what did he grab? He grabbed the bright red, this one that's almost like close to the purple spectrum, and he added that in. And then he said he was going to make lavender with it. And his lavender looks pretty blue to me. So, okay. So let's try that. Boom. And then he's doing, oh my gosh, color pick that. Thank you. Oh, hi, baby. Oh my goodness, Rhaenyra. She just wants to scream and yell today. Okay, and he's painting in a hill. Let me catch up here. Oh my gosh. Rhaenyra. I put the orange boy away because if I don't pay attention, he gets bullied by the other cats. Is he... How big of a... What I can't tell is how much of this is going onto his canvas.
See there? And automatically mixing with that liquid white. That
Is he-
happens. You don't have to spend a lot of time worrying about it or planning it. Let it happen. Let it happen.
Okay, let it happen.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Yeah, sure.
You learn to use everything that happens.
Oh, so it is
That
the
way
whole
we got a
canvas.
distant
Okay,
little hill.
so I need like another hump.
Now then, same old dirty brush. Go into a little bit of the Van Dyke brown, a little touch of dark sienna. Same old dirty brush.
But how is
and
he
I'm just
so
tapping it.
fast?
That's all
Help.
there is to it. Just tap it. And maybe back in here, maybe we'll have a little hill that runs like that. And now all I'm doing is putting in some dark color, so when I put a lighter color on top, it'll show.
I know I was panicking at this video being like only 25 minutes long. I was panicking with good reason. I'm struggling here to keep up, but I'm not fast. And I have to remind myself also that this is like Bob Ross's thing. So, okay. Now I already missed, thank you ADHD. I already missed what, what color he blended in. What did he, it was burnt sienna?
Back in here, maybe we'll have a little
Back up.
little touch of dark sienna. Same old dirty
Okay.
brush, and I'm just tapping it.
We're doing the
That's all
blue
there is
and
to
the
it. Just
sienna.
tap it.
Hello,
Maybe
everybody.
Back in here,
So,
maybe we'll have a little hill
okay.
that runs like that. And now all I'm doing is putting in some dark color, so when I put a lighter color on top, it'll...
So I'm gonna grab the burnt sienna and the blue. Boom. Okay. Yeah. I feel like his is more purpley. I'm not sure. But we're gonna go with that. Sure. And he went down like this. The thing is, part of the reason why I wanted to practice landscapes is because there's so many... Okay, he's got way less paint on his brush than I have on my brush. Hang on. Let me change the opacity of this a little bit. There, that's better. So I can get more of that like brush stroke color variation. Part of the reason I wanted to practice landscapes was because I have all of these ideas of like Rivendell landscapes that I want to do. And I don't understand how to do landscapes because I do find them really boring, unfortunately. And so it's just not something I ever practice, but it's like, you know, sometimes you got to eat your art vegetables. So I think that blender like actually isn't doing me any favors. I might use the wet blender. He is working on a wet canvas, so maybe that's a better idea. Okay, I'm gonna blend that out. And try not to think about it too much. Yes, sir. Okay. And even if it doesn't look very good by the time I'm finished with it, that's okay, because we're here to have fun and hang out with Bob Ross. It's all right.
to show. And that hill, he lives right there. Okay. Now then, same old dirty brush. We'll go right into a little bit of the yellow ochre,
Okay.
a little cad yellow, a little Indian yellow, just all the yellows, and I'm going to reach up here and grab a little sap green. So I have all the yellows and a little sap green, and just
Okay.
tap that brush into the color. Tap it firmly. Okay, let's go back up here. Now then, just barely touch. See? Just touch.
Oh, he's making
That's all there is to
grass.
it. And this is where you begin creating the lay of the land.
Okay.
Make the little hill. This is a little rolling hill, and we just make him roll here. See there? Just tapping. Just tap. It's super easy.
What brush do I want to use for this? That's the question. I need something that's not going to mix too much, but still going to get me that feathery texture. Not that. Oh, that might work. It might be better if I go and do this grass layer on another layer and then blend it in, but we'll see. We'll try it.
It's a lot of fun. Just keep adding a little more color. If you go back, let me show you here. Let me show you. If you get a little bit of brighter color, watch. See how you can divide this up?
Okay.
Because it's not just perfectly flat. If
Right.
you want to make a little division in there, just make it a little touch brighter, and it makes it look like a little hill within a hill. Sounds like a good name for a song. A hill within a hill.
Sounds like a good name for a
Don't ask me to
Tolkien
sing
song.
because you turn your TV off. There we go.
I want to hear Bob Ross sing.
Okay. And that gives us just a happy little hill. It's back in the distance. Same old dirty brush. Go right back into the browns.
Okay, wait. I'm still working on my
Full
hill.
of paint.
Hang on. I want more green in it, I think. Bob Ross calming Mackler's Gap landscape tutorial. Yes. I think Tolkien would have liked Bob Ross with his happy little trees. I actually can't remember if they were alive at the same time. I know Tolkien, like, how do I say this? He's always alive later in the century than I always think that he is in my head. But, we're just blending this color in. But I actually can't remember if, like, he was alive at the same time as Bob Ross. Okay. Add a bit more green there, a bit more green here. I think I want to brighten this up a bit. Yeah. And then I'm gonna grab my wet blender again. Just to pull this color down. Okay. That's looking like a hill, I think. I would have never thought to layer like green and yellow on purple. Hello. Okay. I feel like my hill is not as wide as his hill, but I think Bob would say that's probably fine. Because it's a happy little hill. Okay. I'm going to pull that down there, and then I'm going to add in a bit more color. Okay. All right, Bob, what's next? They were alive at the same time, but Bob Ross got famous after Tolkien died. Oh, okay. So then Tolkien would not have heard of the happy little trees. I think that's a tragedy. Tolkien really would have loved Bob Ross.
Loaded full of paint. Now, I haven't
that's
washed this brush since we started.
Blue, I think,
Sky
and
color,
the
hills,
sienna.
everything. Okay, let's go right back in here.
All right,
And
what's he
then
doing?
here we're going to have another hill. And here, once again, all
Okay.
I'm doing is just applying some dark color to it. You could really put this on with a paint roller.
I'm going to go into my color wheel and saturate this
Put it
more
on a
here
paint roller. Well, we can start a whole new
and darken
thing.
it up.
There we go. But each layer here, you want it to get darker and darker as it comes toward the front.
Right.
As we've mentioned before, over and over, as things get closer to you in the landscape,
They get darker.
in color.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, we can just paint the whole remainder of this canvas, just like that.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. See, when you're using a big old 2-inch brush, it doesn't take but just a second. Just drop it right in.
Is that my problem? Does my brush need to be bigger? Is that why he's painting so much more faster than I am? God. Bob. Please, Bob.
Now then, same old dirty brush. I'll go right back into my yellows, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, cad yellow.
Oh my God, he's
satin.
so fast. I didn't realize Fenorian Week was happening, so I'm trying to write something for that right now. Mackler does not want to work with me. Oh. Hey, Meta. I have nothing planned for Fenorian Week, unfortunately. I suppose there is quite a lot of Maglor in that new chapter of Boundless Sky. So, like, who's saying that I didn't write it for that, but wait, hang on. I gotta back up and see how he blended this hill in because I'm struggling already. Bob, help me out here. He really did. He went all the way down the canvas and blended it in. Okay. I think I still need the wet bleed blender for this. And we're just gonna pull it down. I think the wet bleed works better for the painting like this. I normally like to use this painterly one, but weirdly, actually, that's ironically not working for this. And I need to bring this hill down here too and add in more of this green. I'm also arting right now, but I'm working on ripping out seams I did badly. Oof. I don't envy that. Seam ripping out is never fun. At least I don't think it is. But okay. And then I'm gonna go over, because he's got like harsh lines at the top and then it feathers out at the bottom, which makes sense. So I'm gonna try to use like darker paint up there. To find the shape of the hill more. My hills definitely look different than Bob's, but that's okay. All right, blending that in, and then we should be, we'll just have to bring all this color down to the rest of the canvas, and then we should be caught up with Bob. God. I'm gonna bring the opacity down a bit and make my brush big. I can't speak. Make my brush bigger. And I think that should help me out. Yeah. But yeah, I really don't understand how to do landscapes because I never eat my art vegetables and practice them. There are certain art vegetables that I really like anatomy. I love doing it, but landscapes are really not my thing. So he said that you can do like variations in the hill, so I'm gonna try to do that to make it more interesting. It may work, it may not. Oh wait, no, but he said if it was a new hill, didn't he say like brighter colors? No, that makes sense because that's where the light's hitting it, no? Okay, so I'm gonna take some of the lighter green and blend it in with my dark green down here. Oh my gosh, pick up the blender, thank you. Okay. And then I think right there, and maybe where else do we want to add that lighter color? Maybe there-ish. Maybe that would look nice. And then let's do some blending. I don't know if I like that, but we're gonna roll with it. As Bob says, there are no mistakes. It's only happy little accidents. Okay. So that's my new hill.
Now then, same old dirty brush. I'll go right back into my yellows, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, cad yellow, little sap green. Tap that brush. Tap it. Okay. Now then, maybe, see, here comes another little hill. You can change the lay of the land. Just like that.
Okay, so he's going pretty yellow on that.
Touch, 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 and let it wander right on out. Now, when you're doing this, if you have problems making your paint stick, add a small amount of the liquid clear or paint thinner. Very small amount. Very small amount.
What brush do we use for grass? We used this one, I think.
There we go. There we go. There. See? Just layer after layer after layer. As many or as few as you want in your world. Drop them in. Painting gives you freedom. Gives you freedom. Spent half my life in the military with somebody telling me what color socks to wear, what time to do. Oh, and this was my freedom. I'd go home in the evening and I'd paint, and there I could create any kind of world that I wanted. It was clean, it was crisp. Nobody had messed it up. The water wasn't polluted. Everybody was happy. And you can too. Just create a vision in your mind and drop it on canvas. Look at all the hills we got. Already, there's tremendous depth in this painting. Look at the plains. There's one, there's another, there's one, and there's one. And the more of these plains that you have in your painting, the more depth you will have. Okay, tell you what, let's do. Let's have some fun today. Let's put a happy little house right in here.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Now,
let's do it.
There's a lot of ways you can do it. Let me show you here. Probably one of the simplest ways. I'm just going to take a little paint so you can see it. You can just sort of scrape in a basic shape here. See, there's part of the roof. See, and then it comes down maybe like so, and the other side, and here.
Okay.
And then you need something there.
Bob, I'm
there.
still on my
You can
hill,
do this
Bob.
just to sort of build yourself a little outline.
Constantly. Okay, let me finish this hill up. Okay, and then we're going to do a happy little house. All right. I think this is good enough. Again, one thing I do really that I've already learned from him that I know instinctually when I'm doing like digital art. Sorry, backwards. I know instinctually when I'm doing traditional art that I need to layer colors on top of other colors, you know, to get a certain vibe. But I feel like I just forget in digital art that that's also a process that you can do. Does that make any sense? I feel like my process is so different in digital art, and I'm learning now by trying to digitally follow a Bob Ross tutorial that it doesn't have to be so different. Because, like, I would have never thought of doing that, like, purple bluey on this hill and then layering the yellow on top of that. I would have if this was traditional art. That's what I would have done. Because obviously you have to build, like, layers on layers. But I don't know. Also, I love this because it's forcing me to work on a single layer on my canvas. Because that's what Bob is doing. He's not letting it dry. I may put the house on a separate layer for, like, crispness sake, essentially. But anyway, I just feel like I'm already learning how to, like, new ways to process. Which is good. This encourages me to do this more often. Okay. I think that's good. I should stop fussing with the hill. So, happy little house. We're gonna go in, I think I'm gonna go in with the thick oil paint. Let me just test that. Yeah, I think that'll be good for, like, the way that he's scraping it in. And then what colors did he grab to mix? That's the question here. Let's back up a bit. Tell me what colors you mixed, Bob. Or is he just grabbing straight black? I can't imagine.
Let me show you here. Probably one of the simplest ways. I'm just going.
Okay, it looks like he's grabbing the red, the black, and the brown. I can't tell if he's grabbing the sienna brown or if he's grabbing the other brown. But we'll just go for it. I don't think it matters to Bob all that much. So, because it looks like what we're looking to do is, like, create a warm black or a really, really deep brown. Okay, we'll try that. With my thick paint, I'm going to lower the opacity just a little bit. And let's see how he scrapes this in.
You can see it. You can just sort of scrape in a basic shape here.
Okay.
See, there's.
He's putting it right about here-ish.
See, and then it comes down maybe like so, and the other side, and here, and then you need something there and there. You can do this just to sort of build yourself a little outline, and then you can start filling it in. And we'll take Van Dyke brown, a little bit of the dark sienna in it, and we'll begin building us a house right here. Zoop, just like so. Really push this into the fabric. Push hard.
I haven't had like canvas anxiety like this in a while, but I think it's because I'm working on one layer.
To the material.
So like if I mess up, I just have to paint over it.
Van Dyke brown, a little bit of dark sienna.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
So he's taken more of the black in for one, which makes sense because the light, I guess he's having it come this, I mean, you guys can't see what I'm gesturing with my hand. He's having the light come this way, like that way. So it makes sense if this side is darker. Okay. I see what I'm picking up what you're putting down, Bob. All right, so he's done like a triangle shape for the shadow. And then he's going in. I'm going to even lessen the amount of paint because he's really scraping it in. So widen my brush a bit. I wish I had a more textured. What if I just use this guy? Actually, you know what? I'm going to use that guy. I think that makes more sense. Okay. So, boom. House. And I'm going to do more of this brown. Okay. I don't know why I have it bulging on this side so much. Here, let's clean that up a little bit. On the edge there. Okay. It's better.
Tell you what, maybe this old fellow that lives here is like me. He needs a little shed out here, so we can go ahead and lay that in right now.
Okay.
Zoop. Got to make those little noises or it doesn't work. See? Right now we're just blocking in color. We could care less. We'll come back and separate all this. Yeah, I know. You're saying, Bob, you really done it this time. And you may be right. Maybe right. We'll see. Now, we'll put him a little roof up here. Okay, there we are. Doesn't that look just like a house? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Well, we'll work on it a little bit more and then see what we can do. Okay, I'm going to take some bright red, some Van Dyke brown, a little dark sienna, a little touch of white in there just to brighten it up, son. Just to brighten it up. There we go. Now then, this time, let's use the little edge of the knife. See that little roll of paint? Okay, let's go right up here. Now then, go back here on this back, and let's start.
Oh,
like
cool.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter where you go here, because you can just cut it off
Cool.
when you put the other building on there. Look at that. Looks like happy little shingles back here.
It does look like shingles. I'm so impressed.
This is an old, tired building. Now then, let's come right down in here. See? And we pick out this next eave. There it is. Comes right across there. You can do that. Now then.
I'm going to use the thicker brush for this because he's using a lot of paint for those shingles.
Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of black to that and make a nice gray color. Titanium white with a little midnight black. Oh, that's much nicer. Much nicer. There we go. There we go. Now, go back with a tiniest little bit of black. And let's put some lines in here like boards. All right. Then with a clean knife, we just grab it and pull down just a tiny bit so it picks up the least little touch. Look at there.
feel like what I really need to get for the tutorials like this is a brush with more like natural color variation, like a little bit of color jitter in it. I don't have many of those.
All kinds of old things. Now then.
Okay.
Now then. I'll take some more. The midnight.
So now he's gone in with like grayish white, it looks like. So let's grab, zoom out of my palette. Where'd my white go? There's my white. Grab that, mix in. I'm gonna use a bit of the purpley color that we made, and then a bit of black. But not a lot. That really doesn't take much to make that really light gray that he made. So I'm not confident I can get that board effect, but the military part of Bob Ross's speech really does remind me of Tolkien, like the aftermath and effects of World War I are so present in his work. Yeah, you're so right. Oh, you got this, Jazz. Yeah. Get that seam ripping done. Okay, so now I wonder if I just like take the amount of paint down, I can get that scraped texture, maybe? That's okay. It's not quite as, I think it's still a little bit more clean than what he's got going on, but we'll try to make it work with like what we have. Use my textured blender here. Okay. All right, Bob, what's next?
Night black and titanium white make us that gray color again.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out. Let's go right up in here and pull this one down. Just pull him down. Pull him down. Doesn't matter if a little bit of that brown mixes in, makes it look old. Makes it, see there? Look at there. All those pretty things happen. And I'm going to go right along this edge here and firm it up with just a little dark color. Just so it's a little bit firmer. Back to my black. Then we can go right through here and put, see, just put these little rascals back in there.
Little rascals.
And don't get these too perfect. You want this to be an old house.
Right.
This wood is weathered. It's really caught the devil out here. Now, barely touch. Just graze the canvas, caress the canvas. Barely, barely touch. Give it these little pull downs. Let some, ooh, there's a nice one, see? You can sit there with a one-haired brush for a week trying to get those, and here it just sort of happens. Okay, now then, let's do the other side.
Okay, Bob, hang on. I gotta get my lines in there. Hang on, Bob. Sorry. All right, pick up that black. Come on.
Gray.
Okay. We're gonna make the paint thicker and go in with those lines. I can't cut him in the way that he's doing with the tool, but we can try to do something interesting here. I feel like all my lines in this piece are not parallel, and that's maybe a problem, but it's okay. I'm gonna go in, do a bit of jitter in some areas. I kind of want to add more black over here. Maybe. And he put black kind of on the bottom too. Okay. All right, I think that's okay.
Ooh, there's a nice gray for this side of the building. So maybe
More
tell
gray.
you what, maybe even a little darker yet. I want it distinctly different.
Ooh, he put a lot of blue in there.
Yes. This one's in shadow. You don't see as much. Don't see as much. But we can still see that there's little boards running up through there like that. Same thing. Grab them, give them a little pull, make them look old. That building looks as old as me, and that's old.
You're not that old,
Right.
Bob.
Now then, maybe we'll take some black. Let's come right up in here and put a happy little window. Need a way to see out. Maybe the door is on the other side of this house, but have to have a window over here so you can see what's happening. And we'll take a little bit of light color. This is very light gray, and just go around, sort of clean up the edges. And it just cleans up the edges. Makes your little window look good. Now, maybe, look at there.
Okay.
Maybe like so. I know, next year want curtains in there. And that easy. We got a nice little window. Now then,
Okay.
got to finish up the roof on this side over here. So let's go right up in here, and we'll take the small edge of the knife again and just pop in some little roof indications, little shingles. See, do it just like you really lay shingles. You do the bottom one first and then work upward so they overlap. That keeps Mr. Rain from slipping up under 'em. If you start at the top and work down, he'd be in bad trouble. And you paint them the same way. Of course, this is a lot faster than putting shingles on a roof. My father was a carpenter. You know, when I was
Oh, I just
young,
bumped my mic.
kid,
I'm
you
so
looked
sorry,
close like
guys.
this. My job was carrying all this up on the roof. Boy, they were heavy.
I get too close to the edge of my
Would be to
table
death. I decided I want to be a
when I'm
painter.
leaning over things.
There, now we got a lot of shingles on there. I'm gonna take a little bit of the white,
His house is definitely lighter colored than mine, but that's okay.
and I'm just gonna put a little white on here, just to make that stand out. So you really just pops out at you. Okay, back to my brush that has all the grass color on it. We got a happy little building.
Okay, wait a second. I gotta get my shingles,
come up.
Bob. So he's taking that red color again and grabbing that. And I'm gonna actually try out, no, don't move the brush around. I'm gonna try out, I have a square, and I think that might work better for that, yeah. And I'm just gonna take that, I might desaturate it a little bit. Okay, let's try that color. Happy little shingles, yeah! Second seam done, yes, Jazz, good job. We're doing it together. Okay, let me try out, wait, he said we lay the bottom ones first. So, okay, and I'm gonna try to pick from colors that are like not all the same on my mixer palette here to try to get more color variation, because he just naturally can do that with his, you know, working with a traditional brush. My program does not give me jitter the way that his has. And it looks like towards the back of the house, he's using darker colors. And then naturally here, of course, with the eave. Okay. Dare I say it, I'm actually really liking how this is turning out. Maybe that's silly to be surprised, but the thing is that whenever I do backgrounds, or like landscape paintings, there's always something that I'm not happy with, or like it just never looks the way that I want it to in my head. And so, yeah, I'm surprised that I actually like how this looks, but it is a Bob Ross tutorial, so all credit to Bob. I'm just doing what he tells me to do. Okay, I'm gonna put in a little bit, like very low opacity white in some areas because it looks like has some white jitter on his brush. White jitter, that's not the term. He has white paint mixed in on his brush somewhere. So I'm gonna bring this up a bit more here. Okay, I think that's good enough for the roof. All right.
Here, and begin tapping in some grass right down here at the base.
Okay.
And that'll clean it all up, make it look good. I want to clean up his little foots. Just like so. There we go. A few right in there. Once again, if you have problems making your paint stick, add a little bit of paint thinner. Just a touch. Sure doesn't take much. Nothing's worse than watching your painting just drip right off the canvas. So don't use too much. Maybe there's a little touch back in there. We don't care too much. All right, we got a happy little house out here. See, you can just cover up whatever you don't want. Now then, house looks like it's sitting out there. Boy, it's a dull place to live, isn't it? Let's put a tree in there. We need some trees in there. Trees,
yes, let's do some happy
trees
little
are super.
trees.
I'm going to dip right into the liquid clear and go into midnight black. Now I dipped into that liquid clear to make this paint thinner.
Okay.
So it'll
he's
slide on the canvas. It'll move. A lot of paint in the brush. Okay, let's go. Up here, you have to make a big decision. Where does the tree live in your world? Look around and decide, there he is. There he is. Maybe he's got a little crook right there in the bottom.
Okay, hang on. This is bugging me. I have to fix the side of the shed. And then we'll go and do a tree. Just gonna clean up the side of the shed a bit. Okay, there. That's a bit better. Nice roof line on it. And now we can do a tree.
Give these trees names and stuff. Make them your friends.
Again, Tolkien would have loved this man.
Your friends. Talk to them. It doesn't matter if people think you're crazy, you know. Painters are noted for being a little weird anyway. We can get away with things like that.
I do love doing trees. That's the one exception to my I hate backgrounds thing. I absolutely love doing trees.
Tell you what, let's put some arms on this tree, maybe. There we go. Comes right out. Zoom. Another little arm, maybe. Like so. Make him a little fatter right there.
Realizing that my canvas size is actually quite different to Bob's, but that's okay. We're just going to go with it.
On the other side. I'll make that trunk a little bigger. Maybe there's a big tree, and he lives right here in front of the house. And in the summertime, when it's hot, this tree provides some shade. Keeps you nice and cool in there. And here comes a little arm right through the roof. And maybe there's another one there, wherever. Still want to make this one a little bit stronger on the bottom. There. See, with this liquid clear in the brush, thinning the paint, it slides right over the top. Now then, there we go.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to take my liner brush, still using the liquid clear. I'm going to thin this until it's just about like water. Pull that brush, turn it, brings it to a sharp point. Okay, now let's go up here and begin laying in all kinds of little limbs and stuff like that. Just all these little branches coming off here.
This is why I like doing trees, because it's just like very zen.
Just however many you want. You have to make a big decision here. How many live in your world? Okay, there we go.
Just endless fractals on trees.
I'm just going to drop these in real fast. When you're home and you have all kinds of time, take your time and really put some beautiful little limbs in here. See, now this one comes across in the front of the tree. Don't have them all just coming off the sides. If you do, it'll look like, it'll look just like somebody took a big razor blade and cut your tree in two. And all you have is the two sides. Limbs come across the trunk. And they go every which way, whatever makes them happy. There. See? And just pop all these little rascals in there. Just wherever you think. Wherever. And there's some back on that little tree. There they are. There's one. Now you could spend all day just putting all kinds of beautiful little limbs on your tree.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I think I'll put some leaves on here. So no use spending a lot of time and then just covering them up. Let's go over here and put some on this other old tree here. Just slide a few on there. This paint just slips right over the canvas. Little liquid clear, little paint thinner, either one. Just something to thin the paint down, and then it'll flow. If you tried to put thick paint on, oh, you'd be angry with me. There. Look at all those little, I get carried away sometime and just keep on and on with these.
Oh yeah, me too.
There we go.
Fucking love drawing trees.
Forgot this one here. Shoot. He would have been very upset if he didn't have a limb too. So we'll give him a couple. Nothing like a mad tree. That one chased me all over the yard one time. There.
Again, the Bob Ross and Tolkien thing, like they go together. They go together perfectly.
Okay.
Genuinely a tragedy that they just like never.
Let's get us an old
Maybe
brush.
Bob Ross
Go right
read
into
Tolkien. I wouldn't be
dark
surprised.
sienna,
But it's a pity that Tolkien never got to know him.
Van Dyke brown. Just tap a lot of color in here. Now then, let's go right up in here, and I'm just going to tap on some little indications of some nice leaves. And maybe sometimes you can paint a scene like this and leave the leaves off. Maybe they already fell off. Maybe it's fall. That's up to you. That's up to you.
Okay, I don't use this brush very often,
over
so
here
this
and
is going to be
Tap in
a surprise for everybody involved.
like that.
How this turns out.
Give this old tree some. Don't want him left out back here. Just however many you want. And this one. Isn't that a super nice way to create beautiful, beautiful little leaves on your tree? While I got that dark color on here, I want to put the indication of a little shadow coming right out through here. We'll clean that up in a little while. Without cleaning the brush, I'm going right into some yellow ochre. Let's go right up here and highlight some of these. Just let a little light play through there. Looking at your little cabin there, it tells you the light's coming from the left. So left side should be a little brighter than the right side. And on this little tree, don't want him left out. There we go. All these little happy things. There. See, and work in little clumps. Don't just throw them on at random. Sort of look at it, get a feel for it. Take pictures of trees.
Oh my
Go out,
gosh, wait,
sit in
Bob,
the
slow
woods,
down.
look at
Slow down. Okay. I'm still working on my darker underlayers. feel like I haven't left as much, I don't think I've left as much space in between clumps as he has, but that's okay. We're gonna put some things down and hope for the best. Whoops. Oh my gosh, let's not grab the white. Okay. I'm gonna probably have to go back in with my black and add some more depth to the branches, because I just feel like I'm not getting the same precision with my clumps as he's getting. But that's okay. I'm learning. This is about how I draw trees, generally. Like, the process really isn't that different. He just works much more loosely than I do. I think I want more leaves up here. And then I'm going to go in with yellow, like he's doing, that yellow ochre. I think I want to add a bit of green to it, maybe, and a bit more brown. So let's go in, just darken it up a titch. All right. Tolkien would love happy little trees, but he also made Fangorn so he has range. Tolkien supported trees' rights and trees' wrongs. You're so correct. Oh my gosh, the Great Entwife conspiracy. I am convinced that the Entwives are just to the Shire. I forget who first made the post about that, but it's just been like emblazoned on my psyche. And now that's my opinion, is that they're in the Shire. Okay. My gosh, how is he just getting that perfect texture? Oh my gosh. Perfect leaf texture. I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush and like do some defining. Which I know he hasn't said to do, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Just to get a little bit more of the variation that he has naturally with the brush that he's using and the amount of paint. I think if I fussed with it more, I could get my digital brushes to do that. But for now, I'm just going to have to be a bit more fussy with the painting than Bob is being with his. This is so pretty, though. Witchcraft, that's how he's getting that texture. Yeah. Let's try another one of my splatter gouache brushes. And we're just going in and adding in more texture to the leaves. More color jitter. Okay. And then I'm going to go in and just redefine my tree trunks in some areas. Just to add more depth to the painting and the trees. It really is like magic the way that he puts paint down on a canvas, though. Okay, that's good enough, I think, for my trees. Let's see what he's doing now.
Talk to them, make friends with them. There we go. That gives us some little leaves. Okay, now then, clean brush here. Let's just work that shadow right in.
Okay.
It's a nice big shadow under this tree. There we go.
I'm just using my texture blender for that.
Here. We'll pick up a little of that gray color. A little more of the white. Just put a little touch of white in there. Now, let's have some fun. Maybe there's a fence right there. I like to do an old happy fence. Comes right across like that. And we're going to have shadows. There's another post. As these posts get closer to you, allow them to get bigger and farther apart. There's another one. See? And that'll help create the illusion of distance. Now then, we'll take a little brown and a little white. Throw in a little highlight. That easy. A little bit of shadow. We want that shadow on there. Okay, pull that shadow out that way. See? And then go across. Then go across. We'll put a little, look at that. And we'll leave this one open. So that'll be the gate. And I think that'll show you how to make a super little painting. And that just about finishes this one up. So
Wow,
I think we'll call that one done. From all of us here, happy painting. God bless.
Oh, Bob. Okay. They're so quick. Whoops, didn't want to mute it. There we go. We'll just turn that down a little bit while it plays out. I'm gonna go in here and just add a few more highlights. And I still need to do my rails in the shadow here. Oh, don't play another video. No, stop it. Oh. Okay. Chrome, please. Ad blocker struggles. In theory, my ad blocker works. It works about half the time. Super annoying. We're just gonna go in with the I think they're rails. Isn't that what that part of the fence is called? A fence rail? And get those in. He had like a walkway here, so we'll probably add that in to finish it up. But oh my goodness, this was fun. We should do this again. Okay, let's do shadow. Boom, boom. And then I want to add in like more of a path the way that he had down there. So we're gonna do a light brown, maybe a bit of white. Let's do that. And then just pull up some paint strokes in there. Blend that out, and then add more fence, shadow, and then a bit of highlight. I'm going to use yellow because the light's pretty yellow in the painting. Over here with some yellow, here with some yellow, there, and then of course over the top of the fence. But oh my goodness. Okay. I don't think I did as good of the perspective as he did, but that's okay. I'm gonna get a bit more of the brown and blend in here. Blend that. So the line isn't quite so harsh. All right. That's my little Bob Ross tutorial. Finished it. I am actually really happy with how this turned out. I finished a Bob Ross painting. Thank you, Bob. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like there's a lot of things that are different working digitally. Like I can't get the same texture that he can with like a really chunky oil paint. But, you know, regardless, I had loads of fun. And it did like force me into some brushes and some techniques that I don't normally work with. Like I don't use the splatter gouache paints quite as much as I probably should. But I feel like I just wasn't comfortable experimenting. I need to do more experimental paintings. I need to do more in my sketchbook. This was really good. This got me out of my comfort zone. I had quite strong canvas anxiety, especially when like laying down the house, because like, hi Rhaenyra, hi baby. Because like, I don't know, doing the hills and stuff, that wasn't a problem. That was like, we're just doing some fun flowy shapes. But once you lay down the house, I think because the paint was so dark and it was the fact that I'm working on like a single layer on the painting, I got significant canvas anxiety the second that he was like, we're just gonna slap a happy little house down. And I'm like, I think I was just scared I was gonna mess it up and ruin it. But as he says, there's no mistakes. There's only happy accidents. And then you do have to learn to live with your mistakes and fix them. Yeah, Kitty. Rhaenyra's out and about saying hi. Yeah. So, you know, I think that's where I'm going to end stream. I was planning on doing a shorter one today, and we're just going to hang out and do a Bob Ross tutorial. And that's what we did. So, hopefully things will chill out soon, and we can get back into some longer streams, back into Zomboid. But it was just really good to hang out with you guys. I've missed doing this. So, thank you to everybody who showed up, who hung out. It was such a good time. Yeah, we should do another Bob Ross tutorial again sometime. I also want to do some like Miyazaki landscape redraws because I just love the way that he does landscapes and settings. So one of these days. I'm not as confident with those. Like Bob is there's no like tutorial. Like they're not out there releasing like here's how you do a Howl's Moving Castle landscape type of tutorial. So there's nothing as easy to follow. It's really just me like doing my best attempt and giving it a shot. But yeah, I'm glad this was fun. I will see you guys all hopefully again on Wednesday. We'll get back into a gaming stream, barring like anything crazy happening. I keep saying that, but like this year has been insane. It's wild, and things still like they don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So, but yeah, hopefully we'll get back into it. I'm gonna try to at least make the art streams because it forces me to do art and to eat my art vegetables. Third seam done! Yes, Jazz! Yay! It's always good. It's kind of like body doubling, I feel like, when you're sitting down to do stream with everybody. So, alright. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.